Captain on the bridge.
Alright, Captains, we are back here on the bridge, and today, yes, we will be going over our top recommendations for buying ship bundles in the C store or Zen store, whatever you want to call it, but on screen. Yes, before we get into this video, Captains, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It also helps the overall channel, but also if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing here to the YouTube bridge, where we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains to share our love, passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now, with that said, here we go. Yes, Captains, as I mentioned there in the intro, we're going to give our 2 ECs on what we recommend for ship bundles to buy in the C/Zen store. So we're going to go over all the recommendations, drop the 2 ECs here and there, then at the end give, of course, our conclusion. So as of this video, there is an actual sale happening on all platforms. So this was introduced there September 26th. So let's go over the blog here. It says, for those captains that were wanting everything everywhere all at once, bundles are now 35% off on all platforms. So again, as a drop of this video, this sale started on the 26th, but it actually goes until the 30th. Now, usually there's a sale on PC that ends and then it translates into the console bridge. This point in time, it's actually on together, but this video will still be good for future references, because there will always be these types of sales, especially 35% off. So even though you might have watched this video, may watch this video in the future when this sale is over, this is still our recommendation list that we're going to put out there on the YouTube channel that gives our 2 ECs on this. So, but as a drop of this video, as I mentioned, there is a current sale going on. But so the first recommendation that we have is this, the Captain Picard bundle, or the Picard bundle. Now, I already have some of these individual items, and for this, it's a good bundle to start with, especially if you grew up with TNG. Why? Because it includes the Galaxy, includes the actual Stargazer and the Miradorn and the Galaxy Bridge, and also the Tommy gun. Now, for the most part, you see here, it is a T6 ship, though the Miradorn, the T5 Galaxy, and T3 ship. Now, what is really one of the actual attractions of this bundle is the actual Tommy gun. It used to be only character bound, but now you can actually claim it now on all your characters, if I'm not mistaken. I don't personally have this bundle, because I already bought the bridge separate. I already have the tier 5, I already have this, but I also picked the Miradorn for, I believe, my 2nd year event campaign prize. And the reason why I did that is, for this particular ship, it actually has an experimental weapon, which is a photon launcher, and it looks pretty cool. Does it do a lot of DPS? Not really, but I like it because I want to have that look. Now, for the most part, these recommendations are going to be based on the ships / aesthetics alone, but some of them will have also the bonus on top of having some performance there that you can gain from getting these ships. So again, with this bundle, this is what you get: the T6, of course, Miradorn, as mentioned, T5 Galaxy, the T3 Constellation, you get, of course, the Galaxy Bridge, and of course a 1 T5 ship upgrade token, along with all this, and of course the replica Thompson submachine gun. We have that again because it was an event prize. On top of that, you get the uniforms and all this stuff. So right now it's 26, I believe it's 2600 Zen, but I'm going to start here because, of course, some of you captains know have been with us for a long time. TNG is where we grew up. TNG is where we're always going to be, where our heart is always going to be at. So we're going to start there in our recommendations. So again, Some people may not, but I will, especially if you missed out on the bridge, because it is a beautiful, not only do you get the bridge, you get like engineering, you get like the medical base. It's really, really good, especially if you love being on your bridge. So there is that starting off right there. Now, the next one up, kind of keeping with the TNG vibes, is this, the Legendary Mirror Bundle. Now, this is on sale for $3,900 at the moment, at a 35% sale. So keep in mind, I'm also recommending all of these to buy at the maximum sale, which is 35%. Now, this may not be worth it for you, but I bought it because I do actually love the Gal X. The Gal is my original love, but the Gal X is just right behind it in terms of ships. Now, on top of the ship, you also get, of course, the uniforms. You get a dog, and some mirror universe weapons, a photon torpedo, and some pistols, which shows right here. Again, there's the uniforms, KDF, of course, Federation, or the Terran, I should say, which is pretty cool. I do like the uniforms there. Of course, the main attraction, the ship itself. You get the Agony pistols, I believe, and a photon torpedo launcher, which is an actual, not photon, but it is an actual energy and not kinetic. You get that mean looking dog, and you get the actual registration, the ISS Galaxy. And again, here is all what it comes with. So it's the Agony phaser torpedo launcher. Of course, it's the legendary dreadnought. You get some uniforms. You get, of course, a dog and all of them goodies. So it's okay. It's not like the best in terms of what it actually is here. And stat wise, it is a intelligence and command combo, with the intelligence being the commander and of course the command being lieutenant commander. I love me my commands captains, so this I feel like you can have fun with, and of course they've redone the skin over the years, so this absolutely looks beautiful. So that's that recommendation there. Next up is the Flagship bundles. Now this bundle is on sale for 7,800 Zen. Now, how I actually do bundles calculations in my head is how much the ships are. The fluff in it, which is like the extra items like uniforms or items, that's bonus, but I keep it at the ship. So in this ship bundle, you get all the flagships of the three main factions. So of course, Federation, Klingon, and Romulan. As you can see there, there's the tactical variants, there's the engineering variants, and there's the psi variants. And of course, you get all the skins that come with it, traits and all that stuff, each ship. So and essentially, you get 9 ships. And when you break it down, in the 9 ships, they cost about 868 Zen each. It's not bad. It's not bad. And these ships themselves look great, especially the Odyssey. We all know that's become canon now. And of course, that's going to also come with a new revised, which is now standard, like skin for the Odyssey. But again, the Bordeaux, you get that, and the Scimitar, which of course are iconic ships in my opinion for the Scimitar, but of course now the flagship of the KDF, the Bordeaux. So I wouldn't mind making this recommendation. I've already picked up these ships over the years. I have the legendary versions as well. But if you're new to Star Trek Online, this is also a great way to start your fleet collecting with the T6 flag ships. Next up, so this is where it kind of becomes, again, just our recommendations. It may not necessarily align with what you like, what you want, but we're making it because we actually have them and or love the ships. We'll start with this, the legendary Walker. Now, this ship is from, of course, Discovery. Not only do you get the old Walker, not the old Walker skin, but you get the new T6 skin, which looks pretty good. And I do actually love this ship. Now, it's a heavy price. I'm not even going to sugarcoat my caps. It's a heavy price, 7,800 for one ship. Is there extras? Of course, you get some extras there from this, but for the most part, it's for the ship. It's a lot to ask for. It is a lot to ask for. But the pack contains here, as you can see, you got 1 million credits, which is I laughed at it then, and I'm still laughing at it now. and you get all the kind of bank slots. So if you can take that into account too, of course, but for the most part, it's not really, it depends. It's a great ship. I do love it. And in terms of what it does, I believe this one is a command version of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but regardless, I love the ship. I kind of wish that this ship was the actual hero ship of Discovery and not the Discovery itself. But that, again, that's just my too easy. So that's that. Now, if you just love the ship and you don't want to pay the price of $7,800, well, there is a sort of light recommendation that we can make, which is this right here. It's the Walker class prototype light exploration cruiser. Now, this only goes up to tier 4. This is only a tier 4 ship, I should say. Now on sale, it's $975, but you get this beautiful looking ship. So again, here's the tier 6 skin right there. And of course, you got the cannon skin, which is this. So this ship itself is great in my opinion. Of course, you also get the bridge interior, but it is the Discovery Starter Pack. And again, it is a scalable, and I believe this is the first ship that they did experimentation on when it came to leveling up with your ships. And I loved it, and I bought it for that. Plus, I thought I didn't know we were going to get a tier 6 ship. Well, I kind of did, but I was impatient. So for $975, it's a great starter ship. And tier 4, can you play in an endgame? You're going to be a little squishy. You're going to be limited in, of course, your performance. But if you're just in it for the ships and looking pretty, well, there's a sort of bonus recommendation for the Walker, which is that ship right there. So next up, it's going to be the legendary Dominion Captain's Bundle. Now, I'll admit I don't have this ship, but the reason why I'm recommending this ship is the trait that comes with it. So what trait is that? That trait is the trait that extends your cannon rapid fire, which is called the Go for the Kill Starship trait. Now, of course, anything that you buy in the Zen store is account unlock. And of course, what this does, this trait, is it extends your cannon rapid fire by 5 seconds. So you can have this on pretty much on cool, like off of 5 seconds, boom, you're going to be up again. Now, I bought this ship individually on my character because I wanted it for my Defiant. Of course, I know that cannon scatter volley is king when it comes to cannons, but visually I cannot handle cannon scatter volley on my Defiant. So when I had the opportunity to get this ship from a promo box, I believe is when I got it, I definitely just went for the trait. So, but I know a lot of captains actually love the bug ship or the Dominion faction. That's also why we're recommending this. Of course, that's the T6 skin that you see there, but of course it can use the old skin that you see on screen. So it's a great ship still, don't get me wrong. It'll get you through whatever you want, and for the hottest second when this released, a lot of people were loving this ship. But for me personally, I got the ship that was for the trait, again, which for my Defiant. So that's why we're recommending that. This is going for 5,850 Zen at the moment. So cheaper than the Walker and most of the single ship purchases that are on sale, but it's there for you if you want to get, especially if you are a Dominion type of captain. So next up, this pretty baby right here, the legendary Captain's Bundle, which of course features the tier 6 Vesta. This again goes for 7,800 Zen on sale at 35% off, but look at that pretty ship. I did not hesitate to get this. I got it day one, but it also does come with some things here on top of all this stuff. The other things that may interest you is the bridge officers that come with it. And of course, it's the bridge officers from DS9. They're not showing it here, but you get Kira, you get I believe you get Odo, you get Quark, all of them, the Doctor there, Bashir, and it's. I got it for the ship itself, and it's not a bad ship in terms of its performance, but you also get this weapons pack here that you get, and again, it's the multi-mission explorer in terms of what you get with it. It is a Commander Science Intel, so it's a full Intel spec, and of course we know Intel, or if you don't know, Intel has received a revamp which actually makes it really good, especially if you want to use surgical strikes. In my opinion, again, I'm recommending this for the ship itself because it looks pretty, and of course it has access to all the skins of the Vesta family. So all of that, the Kalian, the Vesta, the Aventine, the Raidmaker, the Brigade, the Palatine, and the Escort. I didn't get the tier 6 ships. I did have the tier 5s, but of course now you can mix and match with that. Again, I think it's pretty hefty at 7,800, but if you're a Vesta lover, and I know there are a lot of captains that I've met over the years that do love the Vesta, because it's the Vesta, now's your chance to get it at 35%, or when a 35% sale comes on for 7,800 Zen. So there's that. And next up, which is, I never thought we would get this. I never did. So it's the Legendary TOS Federation Captains Bundle. Same price point for 7,800. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I got this straight up for the actual TOS look. I've said this before, and I know a lot of you captains know this. I'm not the biggest TOS fan. I am, yes, ducking at the moment as you caps throw something at the screen. I came in to Star Trek at TNG. The aesthetics of TOS never really appealed to me, but this ship, when I saw it, I had to have it. I really had to have it. It's a great looking TOS representation of the Miranda, and I was already a fan of the Miranda because of just how it looks, the TMP era and the photon launcher there, but I love how they've changed it to a deflector, and it just works. It just really works. And when it comes to the actual ship itself, it's not a bad performing ship. As you can see here is a temp ops, the temporal specialization ship with pilot. You can make it work. It's not going to be the strongest ship, but you can make it work, and it's a 5.3. So a Miranda being 5.3, I think that's a win. Not gonna lie, I do believe that's a win. But again, you get not only the TMP skin, but now you get the TOS skin, which is absolutely amazing. The details of that just looks pretty good. On top of that, the Miranda family already has an aft ton of customization. So you're just adding that TOS vibe to it, and you can just get all of that and come up with your own ships and captains. You can get some really good looking kit bashes here, in my opinion. So that's a recommendation for that. Again, it's 7,800 for it. It's a little steep, but I again, for me, it was worth it because I fell in love with the TOS skin, which again is right there. So there's that recommendation. Next up, we're going to go here to the KDF side, the Legendary KDF Captain Bundle, which is of course the D7. When I saw this, instant, just because I had to also give some of my KDF captains some love, which is not a lot in terms of how many I have. I think I have only 4 compared to like 19 federations, but that's not the point. The Legendary D7, so D7 Intel, so it's going to perform relatively well. Again, once you build it correctly, synergize your build and all that stuff, but it actually has a Commander Engineering Intelligence and a Lieutenant Commander Universal Miracle Worker. So this does lean heavy on beams when it comes to building it out. That's our recommendation, but you can do whatever you want as long as it gets you to the content you want to go through. So now the bonus here that actually tipped me over, not gonna lie, was this, the Gorkon Cornus 1 skin. It looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. So we actually had to have it, and this was the sort of sell feature for this bundle, was that it comes with that exclusive skin, which most of the legendary bundles or bundles will come with some that to sell it a little bit which I have that cell. So again, 7,800, it's a lot for one ship. But if you're a huge D7 fan, if you're a huge KDF captain, well, I almost say that you cannot not have this. Okay, but again, there's 35% sales all the time throughout the year. You don't get it this time as a recommendation in this video, the drop of this video. There's always next time, so you can save your resources to get this ship. So there is that. Next up, now this is called the Define bundle, but it's actually called in the Zen store, in the PlayStation store when I was looking at it, as the Escort, cross-faction Escort bundle. So I was looking all over for this blog, and I couldn't find it until I saw this, a Define bundle announcement. So as of the drop of this video, in the PlayStation store, it does say the Escort, cross-faction Escort bundle. Now, this is for 3,900 Zen. Now you break it down to the 3 ships, it's 1,300 each Zen. And it's account unlock, and it's less than the 3,000 regular sale of a tier 6 ship. So again, that is how I break it down in my head in terms of when I buy these bundles. Now, in this bundle, you of course get the Defiant, you get the core. This Defiant here has the new skin, as you can see, which is the original skin that they were going to go for before they changed up to the Defiant that we know. Not my favorite, to be honest with you. But then you also get the core, which is of course a tier 6 bird of prey. This looks pretty good. I like the updated look on this. I really do. I love the cannons there on the wings. And then the Malum warbird here. So this is a great ship. Now these 3 come with 2 things that I love about it. The Withering Barrage Starship trait. Now this Withering Barrage Starship trait you can actually get for free when there is a KDF recruitment, because they'll give you an actual disco bop, which comes with the trait. But you don't get the good looking ships. So there's that. Now, again, Withering Barrage, it extends cannon scatter volley. So then this, of course, right now has been pretty much king and common knowledge that this is a good way to boost your performance. Of course, hitting a lot of targets in a short amount of time is the whole point. But that Withering Barrage, of course, will be something you can unlock on all your characters. You'll have to master your ship on each character, but still, great trait. Now, the other thing I love about this is the Warhead module. Now, for those captains who remember when this ship or this bundle released, the Valiant class actually came with Quantum, I believe. First came out with Quantum, but then they changed it because the Quantum was also on the core class. So they were saying, some were saying, well, the core should have photons, not really saying anything about the Valiant. And then when they changed it to Photon, well, they changed also the Valiant class to Photon, which is sort of a missed opportunity. Now, the Defiant class and cannons still fire photon torpedoes, but I find that them changing this to Photon was dumb. They should have kept the Valiant class with the Quantum Warhead module and the Core class with the Photon Warhead module. Now, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, they've changed it back to the Quantum, because on the Legendary Defiant, I have the Quantum Warhead module. So correct me if I'm wrong as of this video. Let me know in the comments below if it's still the Photon, because I do have this, but I already have the Legendary version, which has a Quantum. So I'm just saying the story that when this came out, this was originally changed for the Core class had the Quantum, but they changed to the Photon, which is great because yes, the bird of prey should be firing photons, not Quantum. So there's that recommendation there, this Escort bundle. If you're a huge fan of either of these ships and are all 3, well, here you go. Now again, it's 3,900, and for each ship that breaks out to 1,300 each. Next up, we're going to go with the support cruiser stats. Now, this is the T6 version of the Ambassador, and the T6 version of the Vorcha. Now, this version, the Narendra here, is actually the original design of the Ambassador. This looks good. I'm an Ambassador fan for life, but this ship also looks pretty darn good in my opinion. Now, this is 2,600 on sale right now. So for each ship, it's 1,300. So for the two ships, it's still less than the 3,000 asking price for one tier 6 ship in the Zen store. So there's that. Now, both skins are great, but this, what really stands out, obviously, and as you can see in the picture, well, it's the Narendra. Now, they're temporal ships, but would you look at that? And again, this is the ship actually in the display case or on the wall there of the Enterprise D sort of meeting room there. And I think it works. I still love the Ambassador, and in my mind, both ships are canon, so it works out in either way. Now, the trait that comes with it is history will remember. It's a great tanking trait. Look at that, how beautiful that looks. It's a great tanking trait. It really is. Now, the Voral, again, this is the Vorcha. So these two can use the original canon skin. So of course this, the Ambassador, this, the Vorcha. It's great. It's really great in my opinion. And this also does come with the History Will Remember Starship trait. So for captains who love tanking, well, that is also a option for you. The console that comes with it, it's okay. It does pretty good in terms of, I believe, damage resistance lowering. It's a long skill. It actually there's a lot long to fire up. I don't use it a lot anymore. It used to be used back then, but now it's not really. In my opinion, I don't really see it a lot. If it is, it's situational. But my recommendation is this because of the ships, both, but more so for the Narendra there. So, next up, we're going to go with this, the Genesis bundle, which is going for $48.75. Now, when you break it down to the two ships, it's $24.38. Now, these ships is the Malachowski, which again, like the TOS, legendary TOS Miranda, this is also part of that family that you can kit bash ships. But the most sort of selling point of this bundle is the Grissom, which is the tier 6 Oberth. Now, I'm not a huge tier 6 Oberth fan. I bought it for the multi-Clark because it was that, but this Grissom does come with a good console, which is used for a lot of torpedo builds, and it's really good in my opinion. I don't think it really is necessary for buying just because of it, but this is a really good console in my opinion for the Grissom, and we'll go over that quickly, and it's right here. It's the phased space membrane. So what it does here, the experimental technology draws a great deal of power. The ship's aux subsystem, while active, and will turn off automatically if that subsystem is drained to zero. It goes offline, manually enhancing the ship's aux subsystem while the field is being generated. So this does do good for torps, especially right here. It says up. The field can also charge up over time and bestow benefits of ship's outgoing torpedo weapons. So it is pretty good. So the envelope negates the physical properties of the hostile sources of physical and kinetic damage. So it actually amplifies kinetic damage. I don't use it a lot. I use it only when I'm told to try to boost my performance of my torpedo builds. And again, that's situational because of course you're in a group setting. I would rather, if I was sort of doing the pug life, I would take that off and put more survivability, in my opinion, for me. But I bought it not for that console, but really for these two ships. So, and I know a lot of captains who love the Oberth. Well, there you go. Next up is the Agile class. Now, these two ships, particularly this one, the Nova, the tier 6 Nova, which of course is called the Equinox, and the tier 6 Saber called the Da Vinci. Both ships, especially though the Nova, This was my flagship for the longest time when I started the channel, Star Trek Battles channel and Star Trek Online. This was my support ship. I would always heal, I would control. I love it. Now, I still use the actual canon skin, but the tier 6 skin doesn't look too bad. The Da Vinci, of course, is the Saber class, which is one of the ships that I actually fell in love with over time. Didn't fall in love with it at first, but I fell in love with it because, well, one, it's canon, and two, it was in the Battle World 359. And in First Contact, that battle is just epic. But the skin here, the tier 6, it's okay in my opinion. The Da Vinci here is a miracle worker, and then of course you have the Equinox as a pilot scout ship, which doesn't really make sense to me, it being a pilot, because it has the pilot mechanic where you can double tap and then you'll go in either directions. But it's the Nova. I bought it specifically for both ships, but more so for the Nova, having a tier 6 version. The trait, though, I would say I would give it to the Da Vinci here. Now, the Tri's Protocol is pretty good itself, as it reduces power drain as a passive, but it's okay. The Starship trait is okay too. It's not something that you would use meta-wise, but if you were trying to fill in traits until you get the next best trait, well, this is all right. It's not that bad. So 50% beam damage bonus, and again, you can have this, of course, across your whole account. So I'd say it's great. Now, this also does come with a prat Gatling emitter, is what I also call it, the prat. This looks pretty cool. It sounds cool too, I think. Does it do a lot of damage? No. I use it for literally the looks, cosmetics, the aesthetics of it. But these two ships, I did not hesitate to get. Love having them in the fleet. Of course, again, they're for 3,900, but for two of them, it's 1,950. Again, that's how we break down the ships in our head, is just for the ships alone. So they're great performing ships. You can always synergize your build to make any ship work. I bought these because for the canon fleet there. So next up, this is kind of a bonus recommendation, sort of. I'm putting it in the middle of the video because the last part of this video is going to have like my really, really top recommendations. So it's the Delta Rising Operations Pack. Now, when this came out, this was the first bundle I bought. And this is a pretty hefty bundle in terms of ship-wise. Now, for the bundle, I couldn't find any real blogs that had all the ships' looks, but the bundle itself is going for 9,750. Now, it comes with 8 ships. 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 9. 9 ships. My apologies. 9 ships. Now, when you break that down to 9 ships, that's 1,084. Of course, it's Fed heavy. You get the 5 ships in the Fed side, 2 for the KDF and Romulan. They're great ships. Nothing to really write home about, but if I were to pick out ships here in terms of what I love, the Phantom, I felt that this was like a tier 6 Defiant at the time. That was great. Get the Guardian Cruiser. We thought this was going to be the tier 6 Ambassador at the time. The Maha Raptor on the KDF side is really good in terms of, well, we'll actually show you. So the Phantom, you can probably just click on this. There it is, the Phantom. That's a good looking ship there. Again, used it for a little bit. It also has a console that is strictly locked to it. I wish they can unlock it. It's like a phaser lance. Man, I would put that on my Galaxy X in a heartbeat if they unlock it. I hope they do, but it is what it is. So that's the Phantom. The Guardian Cruiser, we thought was going to be the tier 6 Ambassador. That's kind of how it looks. Kind of your standard looking Betty ship. Pretty good. Not bad. Now for the KDF, the Maha Raptor here has a wicked console. This thing is like a dead minigun in space for disruptors. It's really good. I absolutely love using it. Locked to the ship again Wish they can unlock it, but it's a really fun console to use on that ship. It's not a bad looking ship either. I wish the nacelles weren't as kind of fat as they were. But there's that. And for the Romulan side of ships, my favorite here is the Fate. Now, in my mind, there's three configurations of this ship. There's the wings down, wings kind of just to the side there, and wings up version, which you can use there in terms of customization of this ship. This ship was featured in a Star Trek Picard comic. Now, I didn't read it, but I saw it. So in my mind, it's canon. And for the longest time, one of my Romulan characters actually mained this ship. And it looks good. I really do like the look of it. But that's the recommendation there for that one. In terms of ships, it's like at 9,875, and it breaks down to 1,085 for the ships. For 9 ships, it's not that bad, in my opinion. So there is that recommendation. So this is kind of a bonus. I'm plugging this in there because this is one of the first bundles I bought, and as you can see, that's the 3 main ships that they were. This is the Eclipse, by the way, which is a forward nacelle ship. I like forward nacelle ships. It's a fun ship, and these were the first ships that have Intel. Then they weren't really doing much, but again, with the revamp of Intel, these ships are good performers now, in my opinion. So there's a little bonus. Now, for the last part, sort of tail end of this video, is going to be the recommendations where they have some mixture of both looks and performance. So we're going to go here first, which is the cross-faction battle cruiser bundle. Now, these comes with 3 ships. Now, this is 3,900 Zen, but individually, when you break it down, 1,300 Zen for these ships. So there's 3 ships that you get. You get the Arbiter, T6 Arbiter. Not a fan, though, to be honest. Not a fan of the look of the Tier 6. But this is a great ship in terms of what it comes with. It is an Intel, Air Commander Tactical Intel. The trait of this, though, is why also we're recommending it, which is because emergency weapon cycle. It's a great trait. It has the traits on all these ships there. There's the kind of the original looking one there, but that's the fleet looking configuration there. So that's the Federation one. The KDF one is the Karak class battle cruiser. This is not my favorite skin of the ship, but this is the Moog. Look at that. Now, I thought when I saw the ship, this was the sort of logical next step in evolution of design for the KDF ships. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I'm not really that big of a huge fan of KDF ship design because the wing designs. Of course, I do love my classic ones, but this one it just looks so mean, and it's just beefy, aggressive looking ship. And again, it comes with this bundle. And of course, the third one is the Valdor Morrigu. And again, they all come with that emergency weapon cycle trait, which is great because especially if you use a lot of energy weapon builds, that's going to help you out a lot. Again, emergency weapon cycle starship trait. After achieving level 5 in either of those ships, you'll unlock emergency weapon cycle trait. While this starship trait is slotted, activating emergency powered weapons will provide a reduction in weapon power cost and grant a boost to weapon firing speed, so cycle haste, for the duration of emergency power to weapons. So I believe it's still a pretty good staple in energy builds, especially when you want to push performance. So not the huge fan of the Federation ship there, the Arbiter. Huge fan of the Moog skin there, and I've always loved the Valdor because of Nemesis. So this had both the recommendations of the looks and performance. So there is that. Next up is this little bad boy here. So the Legendary Romulan Captain Bundle. Now, this is a little expensive, not gonna lie. So these individual legendary ships, 7,800. But, I say but, I wasn't a huge fan of this list. That's kind of a common theme with me, captains. But then it's always just one thing that'll tip me over. This was 2 things that tipped me over. The first was this actually was in Star Trek Picard. And this skin is what you see here is what it looked like, and it looks absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I love the nacelles. Look, I love that bird underneath, and I was sold actually for that. But the bonus of this bundle was the actual trait that it came with. And of course, you can use the old cannon skin if you'd like. There is that. Now, is kind of bonus too as well. It's a command ship. So, Caps, you know I love my torpedo builds, so I can use this definitely for that. But the trait on this is absolutely awesome. I love this. So the trait is Assault Formation Theta, and it's a account unlock. Okay, so upon reaching level 6, you will unlock the Assault Formation Theta Starship trait for all characters on your account. While this trait is slotted, when you activate Attack Pattern Omega or Decloak, your starship will gain a significant boost to turn rate and starship weapon amplification. You will also gain a Torpedo High Yield 3. Yes, let's go, yes! That's why I love this ship. Comes with the trait that is absolutely amazing, and I love using Attack Pattern Omega because that's what Ben Sisko used, Attack Pattern Omega. And now when I use it, not only do you get the benefits of Attack Pattern Omega, but you also get a Torpedo High Yield 3. Like, hello, yes, please, yes. And of course, that visual from the Tillis refit of 2399 era, which of course was the Starship Picard. So it's a hefty price. Again, for this, it's $7,800 on sale for 35% off on sale. But I believe if you're 1, a Romulan fan, 2, a Picard fan, and 3, a Torpedo fan, I think it's gonna be good for you. So as you can tell, I do actually love this ship, and I've used it. One of my main Romulan did have this ship as his main for a while, and I just, when I put a torpedo build on this, it is pretty nasty. And of course, that trait, I use it a lot. And captains that have been with me in this channel know that in most of my torpedo builds, especially when I do single target ones, that trait is there. So there is that recommendation. Next, keeping in sort of the Romulan world, the legendary Romulan warbird bundle. You get 2 ships in this one. It's $7,800 again, but when you split the 2, it's $3,900 each. More than your 3,000 Zen, but you get the Scimitar, which of course is the Nemesis, and the Derpadex, or the Derpadex. Derpadex, that's what we'll call it. So great ships on its own in terms of, I know a lot of people, especially one of our good friends, love this ship. The Scimitar was their main ship for a long time, but the Derpadex also is a classic TNG ship, especially when you saw it face off against the Enterprise D. Now, the ship here that kind of shines is going to be the last one we'll go over, but the first one is a Scimitar. Again, this was in Nemesis. Loved it. It is very menacing. It's okay in terms of it's a command, so of course we love commands, so we can make it use 5-3. The trait that comes with it is not that bad. She's a Predator. Upon reaching level 6, Starship Master, you will unlock the She's a Predator trait for all your characters on your account. While this trait is slotted, activating any attack pattern ability heals you percentage of your max health rex damage equal to your ambush bonus and reduces your cloak cooldown. Only happen once per several seconds. It's not bad. It's saying she's a predator, of course, was the line from the movie when this thing decloaked. Picard said it, that's why they're doing that. But also, visually, this does come with a new skin, which is the Tal Shiar adapted Dreadnought Warbird, which is a Borg-looking ship. So for you captains that love Scimitar with pointy, spiky wings, well, here you go. Actually, in that picture, it looks like it's the Batwing. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. Does it not look like the Batwing? No? Yes? Maybe? Yes. So that's also, again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, some of these bundles come with exclusives, and skins are most of them too. So that is kind of locked there. But of course, you can then kit bash to your heart's desire with all these Scimitar variants. Now we're going to go to the Derpadex, because this ship it being, of course, the Derper decks, again, a really classic TNG Romulan ship. Great. Loved it. It also is a temp ops ship. So again, can make it work, miracle worker, temp ops. But the trait on this is insane. Warning. Slotting this trait, you can kill yourself. What is it? It's called the Rapid Emitting Armament. So upon reaching level 6 in the Starship Mastery, you will unlock the Rapid Emitting Armaments trait for all your characters on your account. While this trait is slotted, when you activate Tractor Beam. Now that is a great twofer type power, especially now at the drop of this video. So not only do you get the Rapid Emitting Armaments, which will finish this off, so you fire 3 heavy plasma torpedoes at your target and gain bonus torpedo damage for a short duration. 3 heavy, and they purple. And now purple torpedoes are a thing, because in Star Trek Lower Decks, they fired purple torpedoes. Well, it was actually the Federation, but just so that you know, the trait caps, or the visuals of those torpedoes that come out of it, are purple, if you care about that. But the Tractor Beam, going back to the Tractor Beam, that is also an uncon activation. So it's a 2-4. A lot of people will have it, especially on the torpedo builds, but I warn you, I would stay about 5 clicks away from your target, especially when you have this on a torpedo build, because as soon as it hits the target and the explosion radius, it will actually kill your ship too. Trust me, I know from experience, that a lot of times. But this trait is absolutely amazing. Now, the visual that comes with this is just kind of this cool thing. Now, I've never known this, so it's the new visual variant, the IRW Unity. This was, I believe, a inspiration from a game. I believe, captains, if you know, let me know in the comments below. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, but it is a great looking variant. Personally, I kind of just like to go with the old school, but for both of these ships, they're great. But really what stands out on top of the 2 ships alone here is that trait, that Rapid Emitting Armaments. We use it pretty consistently, especially when we want to rip the Borg a new one in our torpedo builds. So there is that. Next up, Gaffins, you know we lost our ever-loving mind when this came, because this should have been done a long time ago. So this is the legendary First Strike bundle. 7,800 on sale for 35%, for both 3,900. I think it's worth it. One, for the Akira. Akira, when we saw that in First Contact, we fell in love with it. That ship design just looked absolutely amazing, and that's why probably we fell in love with the NX2, because those two, literally, if you flip one or the other, they both are the same ship essentially. But the Akira just looked like your awesome modern new pew pew aggressive Federation ship that was meant to just spit out torpedoes, and this is what that ship does. Now the Valdor, again, one of our favorite ships, we saw in First Contact. That ship though, the skin that you see there on the Valdor, was actually featured in Lower Deck. So that's the exclusive skin that comes there. For, of course, the Akira, you see the TMP style. I like it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's sort of, if you put this ship in its TMP skin and put it in TMP era type looking ships, it's kind of the awkward one out, because there was never an Akira ship there in the TMP era. But the skin, it's welcomed, and again, more costume pieces, right? So there was a bunch of bonuses with this. Well, first bonus, obviously, the Akira being legendarized along with the Valdor. But you actually get the Tier 6 ship coupon too as well. So you can actually even discount that a little bit more, because you get 3 of that. 3 ships in this bundle. Now, in terms of its stats, we'll first go to the Valdor here. It's temporal ops. It's okay. Again, we just got it essentially for the Lower Decks love, because we do love Lower Decks. It wasn't that bad. You can kind of course, kit bash it with all those if you want. Not a lot. It does come with the Squadron Scorpion fighters here. But the main attraction for this definitely was the Akira. Because one, again, look at that. I just love the look of that. This ship has so many torpedo launchers. I didn't even know this had torpedo launchers on the side of a saucer. Not only have the torpedo pod there, it has on the side of the saucer and in the front. It's just crazy how much torpedo launchers this ship has, and that's why I actually love it. Now, in terms of the ship, it's a command. So yes, command. Miracle Worker, but full command. 100%. Of course, you can make it that. Now, this does come also with the, of course, the visual. The Matsumoto is what it's called. Of course, a TMP Aero style, which is, again, it kind of elongates it a little bit. It doesn't work for me 100%, but I know it works for a lot of those who are TMP fans out there. It does come with the Kodai fighter squadrons. Now, this ship also comes with, where does it say here? It does actually say the Maelstrom torpedo, which is great. So that Maelstrom torpedo, I can't remember, it actually didn't say that here, but the Maelstrom torpedo here is a quantum torpedo. I kind of wish they kind of made it a photon torpedo, but hopefully in the future we'll get a photon Maelstrom torpedo, because that'd be great. But this ship comes with a quantum one, and it's insane. It does consistently like 1 million plus damage to 2 million, even higher in terms of damage when it comes to captains parsing it. It does absolutely insane amounts of damage. Now, we did get sort of a Maelstrom Light as a reward for an event, but this ship has the best Maelstrom torpedo, which is the quantum one. It looks good, the visual, the sounds, captains, it's great looking torpedo. Now, it also comes with the torpedoes in terms of the consoles from the previous Akiras. As you can see, the torpedo point defense system. Love that one. To be honest with you, it just spits out a bunch of torpedoes, which makes sense for this. So this ship for me just pushed all the right buttons. And the bonuses were the Maelstrom, the point defense torpedo, and of course the skin for some, TMP wise. But both of them was worth it for me, in my opinion. So again, for both of the ships, in terms of cost on a sale, 35% sale, it's $7,800. But if you break it down to the two, $3,900. I think it's worth it if you love the Akira Valdur, and if you want a little performance boost to your torpedo builds. Just saying. So there is that there. Next up, we'll go to this. Now, captains, you know we covered this in the channel here the last couple months here. I'm a fan of these ships. I'm 100% a fan of these ships. So this is the Heritage bundle that came out recently. Now, it came with the Typhon, the Premonition, and the Achilles. Now, I did not play the old games here. So the main draw of these ships is these came from games of old, the Star Trek games of old. So this was, I believe, Star Trek Invasion, this was Star Trek Armada, and this was Star Trek Dominion Wars, I believe. I only knew of the Achilles, and I actually thought it was a fan design, because when I was playing Star Trek Starfleet Command 3, there was a mod, the Kobayashi Maru mod, and this is one of the ships. I actually did use this ship a lot in skirmishes, and it wrecked havoc. It actually had the pulse hexacannons, now what it's called here, and it ripped. Design wise, in terms of the Achilles, the only thing I don't like about it is a deflector, but it's a great ship. It's a great performing ship. I got this ship to almost $1 million or to $1 million with a little bit of support, a little bit of help. It did actually get to that, and I didn't even tier 6X to the ship. So keep that in mind. This ship performs really well, and the experimental, the hexacannons, great. Speaking of the Typhon now, it took a while for me to get love, but I knew that this ship was something that I was going to fall in love with, because recently, one of the ships that we'll go over here in the next couple of blogs there was The carriers. I was never really a carrier captain until that ship came out. And again, I'll mention that when we get there. But with all the carrier love that we've been having lately, I did actually fall in love with this brick. Not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be a little bigger, and I wish it was a little bigger. But in terms of performance, of the three, it is my favorite because it's a command ship. The Achilles is a miracle worker. The Typhon is a command. So I knew I was gonna love with it. Or I was gonna love it. And I did. And I fell in love with the look, the brickiness with all the fighters that you can have out there. It worked. The console that comes with it's not too... It's okay. It doesn't look like what it does look in the trailer. And again, we've covered that nauseum, captains, in the channel. I can actually probably link that in the description below, or the end card, one of the two. But that is my favorite ship of the bundles. Now, the Premonition from Armada, that's not the actual skin of it. This is the tier 6 skin, but this ship is the prettiest ship of the three. So performance-wise, you have the Achilles in terms of what you can get in terms of performance pushing because of cannons. Typhon, for me, because of, again, torpedoes and the carrier stuff. The Premonition wins on looks. It just wins purely on looks. It's a temporal ship. I don't really do a lot of temporal builds, or like this is like a sci-fi ship as well. So I don't really, but it looks great. It's like a cross of a Sovereign and like a Vesta when you look at this ship. So this bundle is 8,125. Now you break it down to what you get in terms of the additional tier 6 coupon, it's 2,032 approximately. So again, we've covered it. We're not going to go too much into it, but this is a recent release here in Star Trek Online as of this video, as you can see there, July 25. But again, the Typhon Command Escort Carrier, the Achilles Miracle Worker Heavy Destroyer, and the Premonition Temporal Signs Spearhead. But on top of that, again, the extra fluff is not that bad. You get at least 4 sniper rifle, which I believe was from one of the Elite Force games. Never played it. You get new fighters. It just looks cool. Elite Valor fighters. I still like the Valkyries. But again, look at the Typhon. I thought it was gonna be bigger, but again, it's an escort. And it works. It just works. It just works. And when you use the console there, it actually kind of sort of transformation sequence there, which is pretty cool, which is called the Typhon Fortress mode. Again, of course, you get the Achilles here. Again, where it just loses me is the deflector. It almost reminds me of the Inquiry when we first got it with the barbecue grill. That it's like wide and red, sure, but it has kind of that spearhead looking saucer, which I don't mind. Back nacelles, but man, the hexacannons, you can see it right there. That's what it comes with, and you can put this on any ship. You can put it, and on top of that, this also has a micro quantum torpedoes. So the prototype phaser hexacannons, you stick that on your Defiant, you're gonna get some great performance, because that's what I'm hearing too. It performs really, really well. And there's the quantum torpedoes, or the micro quantum torpedoes balance array. So, but I did not really buy this for the performance. The performance is bonus. I bought them for the ship's look, the cosmetic, the looks of them. I didn't even play the games, like I mentioned, but they're great. I'm still having fun with them, and I will continue to have fun with them, because we still have, as of this video, still have to do videos on them and share it here on the channel. But yeah, our recommendation there is the Heritage Bundle. Next up, it's the Legendary Battle Cruiser Bundle. Now, I said the Inquiry earlier, didn't like it when it first came out. Why? Because of the barbecue grill. This bundle changed it. But as you can see, it's also the same family as the Arbiter there. Along with, you now get the actual Legendary Board Askew. Yes, been waiting for this for a while. It was kind of odd that they paired this at the time, but I don't care. It's working, because actually my main character has been using this ship, because it's absolutely a beast. Now, it is 7,800 for both ships, of course. You get 3,900 for each. So we break it down that way. Now, what makes it for me, not gonna lie, is this. the Avenger Miracle Worker. So it's Avenger, it's a Miracle Worker, so energy, cannons, that's how I have it built. But they fix the deflector. I'm not gonna lie, probably 75% reason why I bought this bundle. Yep, I'm squinting a little bit, if you can tell, and it looks great. Now, I don't use these nacelles, I use the beta ones, because I do like it going a little longer. It's kind of just lengthens the ship a little bit more. But then both were canon. Both looks are canon. Apparently this is canon too. It was in one of the screenshots there in Picard, apparently, when I was reading Dave Blass's sort of Twitter feed. This is somewhere in the background, apparently. So yes, I'm going to take it and go run with it. But of course, you can do all the kit bashing with all these that you have, of course. And if you like the barbecue grill that it originally came with, well, you can use it. You can use it. So again, this is just great because I love did love the look of the Inquiry when it came out, just not with the deflector, but when of course they fixed it to put an actual proper deflector. Yeah, I'm maining it actually as of this video. Now it does also come with new quad cannons. It's called the overlinked phaser quad cannons. It's all right. It says the legendary Avenger Miracle Worker battlecruiser comes equipped with an overload linked phaser quad cannons, which treats beam overload as if it were cannon rapid fire. I've used it. It's all right. I believe performance-wise, it's not as strong as your original quad cannons, from what I'm being told, but it's there. There's no visual difference, no sound difference. It's still there in terms of its looks, but for me, that's what did it. That is exactly what did it. Now, the board askew was a bonus. The board port. Loved the board port because it's a command ship. And captains, of course, you know I love me my torpedo builds. And it was that just, I think I just put this torpedo to test the first time I got it, put a torpedo build on it, and I think it almost did 800, I believe, on it. But again, it's great. Now, this does come with a new skin as well, and that's the Kronos 1. There, it looks good. I do actually love that, and also that's the same kind of theme look with the D7 that we went over there at the beginning of the video, or near the starting of the video. It looks good. It really looks good. I've been a fan of the board port since I've seen it, and I'm glad I have that as well. Now, again, for both of these ships, in terms of cost-wise, it's $3,900, as I mentioned. But again, you actually get another tier 6 ship coupon, which you can use again. So it's up to you if you feel that it is worth it for you, but definitely for me it is. I'm mating this ship right now, and it does consistently perform pretty well and can hit a mil when it's being supported. So there is that recommendation there. Now, the last three, captains, the last three. So third last one here is the 13th anniversary Terran bundle. Now, this goes for, right now on a 30% sale, 35% sale, 11,375 Zen. Now, when you break it down to the ships that come in it, so it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but of course you get this also the tier 6 ship coupon. That is 7 ships. Individually break that down, 1,625. Now, speaking earlier about the Typhon and a ship that made me love carriers, well, it's actually in this bundle, which is the Monitor. Monitor? Yes, this ship right there. The which is one of the 4 new ships there. It's a Monitor or Miracle Worker Carrier. And it looks pretty good. I love the look of it. The support, it's like the support cruiser look of it. I actually adore it. I did not get the bundle. I only got 3 ships from this, so I'll never be able to get the bundle anymore because I've gotten 3 ships. But I may get the Galaxy one here, but really I have enough Galaxy Dreadnoughts. I'm okay. But the 3 ships from this is the Hydra, the Monitor, and the Eagle. This bad boy here, the Eagle, the tier 6 version of the ship that comes off of the Odyssey, there is great. That is a torpedo ship written all over it, and it's this thing just really performs really well. Hydra, of course, you have it too as well for energy builds, and that performs really well for a lot of captains. They love that too. But you also get the bonuses here, like this, the warp bubble. You get Beverly Crusher. Of course, I don't think they did the best job of capturing her, but that's okay. You get a Terran EV suit. You get, of course, the sticks if you're a fan of that cockroach. Again, here again are the ships there. You also get the kit bash ability with these ships if you want. There's, of course, the Monitor. And of course, the Eagle there. And the Hydra, which of course is the Prometheus. So I do think that this bundle is pretty good. For me personally, like I had mentioned, I didn't get it. I only got the 3 ships from it. But if you're a huge fan of the Terran ketchup color, which is the red, and of course you wanted a crossfield there, then yeah, it's gonna come out for this bundle 1,625 for each ship there, because now of course it comes with the sticks and an additional T6 Starship coupon. So there's that. Second to last one, recommendation, not a surprise to anyone, the 12th anniversary Terran bundle. Yes, did not hesitate to get this. This bundle came with the Smexy Lexi. They literally took a torpedo pod the size of a Defiant and stuck it on the aft of the Audi and gave it a phaser lance too as well. Use this phaser lance, but it still has a phaser lance. Pretty cool. The Adamant, this reminds me of a fan ship there, the Valiant. DJ Valiant, I believe, is kind of, if you want to Google that, captains. It looks pretty good. Love that ship too as well. But also the Trailblazer. This is a pretty good ship. This is like also a command ship here. I mean, all of these are good, to be honest, these 4 ships. But there's 4 of them, actually 5 with that strike wing ship there. But you get the 6th one by the tier 6 ship coupon. So from 11,375, each ship breaks down to 1,896. So they're great ships. They perform great, and of course the extras, of course, is there. That's the ship that comes with there, the Earhart Angle, the Mirror Angle Strike Wing Escort, which is just exclusive to that ship. But look at that! Come on, the Smexy Lexi. You can use the actual Audi skin and just stick a torpedo launcher on it with the actual phaser lance. Like, come on, it's great. It just looks so good. That one is a Miracle Worker, so energy build. And love the console too. That's a bonus on this ship, the multi-directional artillery barrage. Bunch of quantum torpedoes going all over the place. Love it. Cygnus, this is what we used as our stand-in World Razor when we didn't have it and didn't even know at the time we were going to get it, but we got it, so it's great. Nothing too special about it. It is a 5.3. It is a temp. It's okay. It's not. You can make it work with energy builds. And of course the Adamant, which of course the Defiant. This is great because this also comes with the console, which is the Terran Repeating Warhead Launcher. Really, what it looks like is a double quad launcher. Double quantum torpedo launcher. That's what it looks like. So if you have a ship that has an experimental slot, you can definitely use this for that. And I do. I definitely do it. I have to go back to this ship because I have a build idea for us. I believe we're going to go back to the Valiant for that, but it does also come with the Agony quad phaser cannons with the Agony sort of proc there. Nothing too crazy, but this also does come with the Agony redistributor. Now, we know the history of Agony redistributor. It has been nerfed and adjusted now to a point where people still do use it. So it's still okay. I still see some people use it. But again, I got this bundle without any hesitation because of, how it looks. And of course you have the Trailblazer, which is a command version. Yes, and it has the Warship Intrepid ketchup version looking on it. So this is a size ship, but it is a miracle worker, but it also has command. So I have fun with this in terms of torpedo builds. We definitely have fun with this ship. So that's our recommendation for that, as well as it's kind of our second to last recommendation in terms of sales. Again, for 11,375, break it down to each of the ships that you get for 6 ships with a tier 6 ship coupon. 1,896, less than 3,000, of course, even less than a sale usually it comes to the Zen source. So yeah, do recommend that. Really, I have to say, it's just mostly for the smexy Lexi. Not gonna lie, that is a sexy looking Lexington / Audi there. So lastly, our main recommendation. Now, I don't know if this is actually in the store. I don't think it is, but again, this does come back, and no surprise, every 1, 2, 3 months. It's the 10th anniversary bundle. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, captains, because we've made so many videos on this, even when it's just news. That the 10th anniversary bundle, to me, is still the #1 recommendation when it comes to legendary bundle, to bundles in general, because of the ships that you get. You get all the hero ships, like what's not to love? You get the Odyssey, you get the Galaxy, you get the NX, the Intrepid, of course, the Connie from Strange New Worlds, which I fell in love with, the original TOS Connie, of course, the Discovery, the Crossfield from Discovery, the, of course, Sovereign, and the KT Connie. 10 ships. 10 ships. Now, this does come in 2 flavors, but I just recommend getting the 19,500, because when it's on sale, each ship breaks down to 1,950. You can't beat that, especially for all the hero ships. You really can't beat that, in my opinion. Now, this does come with another version, like I mentioned there, but it costs 45,000. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you, because of all that extra fluff. But the main reason that I still hold this as #1, but also as the main recommendation, is because it comes with all the hero ships that we've come to see on screen. Now, I wish that they would actually update this to include the Enterprise G now, or the Titan A. Probably not going to see that, but it would be nice to possibly add that here in the future. Does it deserve a legendary version? I mean, yes, it already has one ship in game, but it'd just be nice to put it here with that. And also the Protostar. The Protostar is not here, because this should be the bundle that has the hero ship. They're not, probably not, because of course they've always kept this as a 10th anniversary legendary bundle, and this is like their main one that they always kind of bring back here. I feel like it's quarterly, but again, we've talked about ad nauseum. This video is long enough, captains. I do appreciate you sticking around for these recommendations. But regardless, even though that there is a sale now as a drop of this video, it doesn't mean that you can't use this as a guide, or at least listen to our 2 ECs in terms of why we're recommending it, because 35% sales happen a lot throughout the year. So if you don't have the resources now, save up for it, and then when it does come to sale, then you can go ahead. So captains, that is the video. Our #1 recommendation, of course, is the 10th anniversary bundle. Hope you enjoyed it. I know this is a pretty long video. This is one of the reasons why I've kind of held off on this, but we're going to keep it the way it is. It's an hour and probably 15-ish minutes of us going at it. But captains, you know, again, we do it for our love and passion for Star Trek Online. So do us a favor, hit the like button, help this video, help the channel out, but also comment below. Let us know what your recommendations are, and or what ships you end up picking up in the sales and or over the years, and tell us probably what's your favorite. Again, 10th anniversary, you can't beat it. You really can't. So captains, thank you again. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, and we'll leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.